You've been back already?
Yeah, I've been the last 3 days.
You guys want to get your class ready?
I've had some meetings and stuff, but teachers are officially back Monday, and students come back the next Monday.
That was
Summer will.
Okay, time being 7 o'clock, it's time for the August 13th, City Council meeting. Can I get a call to order and roll call, please?
Elwick,
Here.
Hastinius,
Here.
Harmander,
Here.
Raker,
Here.
Sellers,
Here.
Starkmacher. Here.
All right, if y'all rise and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Vote.
Second.
Yes, sir.
Moved by Zach, second by Tammy. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Get a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Andrew. Any questions on that?
I said I was gonna bring it up. The Riverside sidewalk in Kiwanis Park, amounts that we're paying are higher than what was approved. We just talked about it. I have it, so I guess I don't know what the correct plan of actions going forward. I know this is obviously within supervisor approval levels, but it's like 3 or 4 invoices in a row. It's roughly 10% higher than what was approved. I don't know if we need to do a better job doing that, but the amounts we're paying out this time are not what we voted on.
So the concrete over at Riverside, I spoke to him after the last council meeting in terms of what the invoices looked like on your side. So I had him do 3. The third invoice, which is the $16.93, that is what's extra. That wasn't necessarily in the RFQ, but like the attachment to the Outlook. So we didn't have just a half project. So I spoke with Chris about it, and like Dakota said, it's kind of within my buying power, but I don't want to just leave a chunk open. So I had him invoice everything that's extra separately from that. And I believe that's 4% over for the entire project.
So like with every other project we do, even at the wastewater plant, they have a change order has to come here for approval. I understand that you want to do it, he's on site to do it, but it might lend to the ability for people just to bid low and just know you're going to pay it later. So we gotta avoid doing that.
Right.
So if they want to have a change order, you're gonna have to bring it to us.
Okay.
And they gotta document why it's a change order. Fair enough?
Yep.
Anything else?
What would you say is more
No, as long as we do that, I mean.
Anything else? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All righty. Last time receiving 5 communication petitions from monitors.
There's a couple items in your packet, an engineering report and a letter from the DOT.
So received and so far. Moving on to committee reports.
Oh yeah, we just met. Forgot about that. About building permits, as far as what's required, we don't currently require a roofing permit. We're going to start that, and we're going to record those with the assessor's office so that that information is available for insurance agents moving forward and property owners when they buy something when a roof was done. Water heater and furnace change outs are not being recorded currently. We're going to change that and do that. And then the other thing is we're going to require contractors that work in the city of Benton fill out a simple registration form that we verify their state licensures and their insurance requirements, that they're legit, and when they pull a permit, and just watch out for the citizens, pretty much. That's the gist of it.
I assume this is gonna be a recommendation for council that they'll
Yeah.
vote on later.
That's what I meant.
I thought so.
Yeah, at a later date,
Who's gonna draft that up?
I assume Doug.
Alright. Any other committee reports? Alright, moving on to citizen input. Council won't take any action on public comments this meeting, but we might at a future meeting. So please limit your presentation to 3 minutes. Anybody?
I'm Darius Sellers, 903 West 4th Street. I'm a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission. In your consent agenda, you received and filed the Planning and Zoning minutes. Did you know that the Planning and Zoning has not reviewed those or even seen those meeting minutes? How does that happen? Why does that happen? In 2023, the city was cited for failure to post minutes after public meetings. You guys admitted the mistake and you agreed to do that moving forward, and you have done a wonderful job of that, except for one group, Planning and Zoning. I've been on Planning and Zoning for over 5 years, and in 5 years, Chris Ward never presented meeting minutes for us to approve. The first ones we got was the meeting that Melissa Schwan took over in July when Chris was gone. On January 14th, Chris Ward was appointed Secretary of Zoning, Planning and Zoning Commission, even though it's not in the charter, whatever. He was voted out on June 23rd and immediately voted in on June 23rd. In the meeting with Melissa Swan, I volunteered as a member of Planning and Zoning to be the Secretary. When this was brought up, Don Weideman reported, AI says it has to be a city employee, and they voted him in again. Okay? So, at what point is the council going to hold Chris Ward and Don Weideman accountable for their insubordination? Because I also understand they were instructed to appoint somebody else who's a member as a secretary at the last meeting. It was not on the agenda. At what point are you going to make those two follow state law? Everybody else has done it. Melissa's done a great job in the city, except for Planning and Zoning. We have not seen the minutes. Those are not meeting minutes. Those are Chris Ward's notes. Get the ducks in a row. Let's follow the law and find out what's going on with the Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you.
Mayor, anybody else?
Hello, my name is Archie Greywolf Peru. I'm here to speak to you about the proposal for the data center that has been proposed on Iowa Uncensored by a Ryan Coupler, who's been stirring up a whole bunch of shit here in Benton. And we don't need this type of thing here. They can keep them over in Cedar Rapids. They destroy the land. They destroy the stuff for the animals, and it's not needed here. And I don't know if you guys have heard the proposal, but things have been getting nastier and nastier on Iowa Uncensored site, and he keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and we're going back and forth, and half of the town here in Benton has spoken against it. We don't want it here. We don't need a data center. There's no use for a data center.
Nobody's approached us about a data center that I'm aware of.
Well, if you check the Iowa Uncensored, he's got it on there, a proposal for a data center, and it stirred everybody up.
Well, again, he hasn't approached myself or Mr. Ward,
Okay.
so trust me, we know. So
Okay.
a lot of stuff gets posted on some of those websites that aren't true.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Archie. We
Yep.
appreciate your concern.
Yep.
Anybody else?
If anybody on Zoom wishes to address the council, please use the raise hand button at the bottom of the screen.
No old business, now I need a motion approval of the second consideration of ordinance number 1118, an ordinance amending provisions pertaining to special speed zones.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Zach. Anybody got any questions on this? Is everybody aware of all the changes that are being made? Slow down, that's all I can say. All right, roll call, please.
Raker,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Stark Mahut. Yes. Elwick,
Yes.
Cassinius,
Yep.
Parmenter.
Yes.
It's like our permanent track cameras. We just change the speed on this. All right, moving on to new business. Now, now it's time for a hearing on notice of violations 306 East 13th Street. Anybody here wish to speak on that?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Patricia Law, and I live at 306 East 13th Street. We received a notice of violation with some accompanying pictures and the ordinance. Ordinances that we say we violated, and I do not believe we ordinance .03 duty to trim trees. I have taken a picture that I took that very day that I received this, and I can show that to anybody who wants to. Who would I direct that to?
Bring them right up, just start passing them around.
The ordinance refers to a duty to trim the branches that would overlay the street or sidewalk. As you can tell from that, I'm standing at the base of my driveway. My tree does not overextend our lawn. It does not cover over the sidewalk, over the right-of-way. I do not think that we are in violation of this ordinance. It says the owner of the abutting property shall keep the trees on or overhanging the street, trimmed so that all branches will be at least 15 feet above the surface of the street and 8 feet above the sidewalk. And as you can tell from that picture, you know, the branches do not go off of the lawn. It is just over the lawn. So I would ask that we not be found to have violated that ordinance. Also refers to, if you look, anything that is in the front yard, any grass or weeds that are in the front yard, it shows pictures of what is down by our, by the light pole closest to the intersection to the Tilford driveway. And I have abated anything that I felt was too tall or was my responsibility for weeds and grass. But right around there, that is actually in the street. There's still weeds there that is outside of the curb. It's not on the right of way. They're growing in a crack in the street. The picture that I took again the very day that I received this, this violation. Those weeds that are about this tall. Sometimes I'll pull them just because they annoy me, but they are my responsibility. They're in a crack in the street, not on or inside the curb. So I would ask that we not be seen to be in violation of that ordinance either. So as I said, I have corrected anything that I thought might be in violation. It has been a very hot and rainy season. And I wait until 8 o'clock before I go out to do any yard work because it is too hot, and then you only have about 45 minutes of day. So I may not have my house as nice and neat, my yard as nice and neat as I would like it, but I do not think that anything is a nuisance. Thank you.
See the picture, Mark?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay, the tree one looks like there's an angle shot. Your picture looks like it's overhanging, and hers picture looks like it doesn't. Can you go over and take another look tomorrow?
Well, can I comment in general? on
Yeah,
things?
absolutely.
I since reviewed the code that I punch in and realized that the 151.03 is for the 8-foot sidewalk, 15-foot road. I believe the new code that I put in that I need to start using for what I wanted to convey is 62.06. And I had wrote on the page please trim up the bottom of the tree at/near the intersection for vision of traffic. So if you look at my picture on the bottom left, as we have it here, it's not major, but there is some blockage there when you're looking left at that stop sign. So that's what I was looking to get for the tree trimming. As far as the weeds, yes, there's lots of houses that have weeds there. I was referring mainly to what I believe to be weeds along the driveway and the fence line, and then also trimming the curve of the road, which not a lot of people do, but I'm trying to work on people to do that. And then junk, there was some junk previously, again, not much behind the garage on the side, which has since been moved. And I don't have a copy of my notes here, but I believe I hand wrote that the weeds behind the air conditioner do not need to be moved, but I highly recommend them to be moved because it helps the efficiency of the air conditioner. They're trying to help out with different things. So that's what I got with things.
So you say you've abated all these things except for maybe trimming that tree,
I
right?
haven't trimmed the tree because I don't think it's in violation. I've abated anything that I believe was a nuisance.
Yeah, and she's correct. It's not in violation of what I wrote down. I wrote down the wrong one. But I did write later, I'm looking to get it trimmed up for you. So you're correct that you're not in violation of that.
You fought City Hall and you won.
Thank you.
So I guess from right now, it's not in violation of anything, everything's been abated
Trish,
for
do
what was.
Do you not want to trim
Well-
the tree, or?
Not really. Sometimes I have trimmed it in the past when I felt that, it's starting to get a little bit further. I don't want people walking on that sidewalk to get hit in the face with a branch. If it gets to the point where it's over the sidewalk, I'll trim it. I don't think that if you're on 13th Street, I don't think it gets in the way of being able to see the traffic. But that's not what this said. This was about is it crossing the sidewalk. When the time comes, when it gets close to winter time, I'd like to trim it up a little bit because the snow and ice kind of weighs things down and that changes, where they are. But at this point in time, I don't want to do anything.
This tree is over 6 decades old, and it's a pine tree. If you were to cut it up 15 feet, it would destroy the tree, and it would look terrible.
Yeah, that would not look right.
It would look
Right,
awful.
and I'm not looking for 15 feet,
It
I'm
would
looking
look like
for
a
a
damn toilet
minimum,
brush.
I'm looking for a minimum of 6 to 8 feet on all trees at intersections like that, so you can see down the road, is what I was looking for. And then trimming the curve. Which you can't see in the picture, but the overhang of the leaves on the curve. And again, compared to 95%, 90% houses, it looks great. I was there taking pictures of other things right near you and noticed that when I was at the intersection and noticed the things behind you guys.
And I'm a firm believer in not allowing an excuse of, well, everybody else is doing it. And so I am not using that as an excuse, even though I do believe my house is probably better conditioned than 90% of those out there. It's not a valid defense to say everybody else has got needs too.
Well, we'd appreciate if you do take a look and think it's by reducing vision for people coming down the street, at that intersection.
Mainly, yeah, that intersection
Reader.
at Tilford is just so.
With school starting up here, we want to make sure everybody's safe.
Right.
So, take a look, if you would, please.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, moving on to item B, motion approval of resolution approving lot 7 and lot 8, block 1, Smith Traer and Tilford's addition to the city of Benton, Iowa. Motion.
Second.
Motion by West, second by Andrew.
This is a plan survey across the street from the post office, and planning and zoning reviewed it. And the vote was unanimous to make recommendation for approval.
All righty, any got questions where that is exactly? I think we all know what it is. All right, roll call, please.
Senius.
Yep.
Raker.
Yes.
Stark Mahood.
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
Elwood.
Yes.
Parmenter.
Yes.
All right, moving on to item C, motion approval of quote from Edwards Plumbing and Heating and Air Conditioning for the new AC Utility Center.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Zach.
So this is something we talked about during budget time. Andrew has serviced that unit forever, I'm pretty sure, and he came out and checked and has re-put Freon in it, but the leaks kind of, it's too bad to salvage. So this is just replacing the south or the west unit out of the skating rink. Same exact thing. We're not reducting anything or stuff like that, but. That's what we got.
All right, any questions? If not, roll call, please.
Starkman Hood,
Yes?
Elwick,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Vesenius.
Moving on to item D, I need a motion approval of professional service agreement with Snyder Associates for Veterans Memorial Airport boundary retracement.
Second.
Motion by Wes, second by Zach. Yes.
I'm here to answer questions and maybe explain what
My
the heck
first
is
thing
going
is,
on.
I don't know if we can approve this yet. I don't know if we got permission to get on there. That'd be accurate.
The last meeting was not.
Yeah.
I don't want to approve something, give you rights to go do something and not have them to get access, because that's,
In order to retrace the property owners, permission to be on property, especially if you on south.
There is a statute and state code that we can provide notice to survey it. If you recall some of the pipeline stuff, that was actually a big deal and it was hotly debated a few years ago. But there is statute and state code that would allow us, with proper notification, we're just there to survey. We're not going to do any damage, anything like that. So we can do that and be protected by state code as long as we provide proper notification. We can also sit tight until we have the go-ahead if that's more comfortable too. So whether you approve it tonight or at a future meeting, you can approve it tonight. We'll sit tight until you give us the notice to proceed. If you prefer to table it for a future meeting, we can do that too. Since I'm here, if you'd like to talk about anything.
I personally would like to work with the property owners and have their permission before we move forward with it, but I'm only one person. I would echo that.
anybody else got any thoughts?
So Tom made it pretty clear last time, nobody's gonna do anything out there until they said we could, so.
It is in our best interest if there are disgruntled property owners for us to wait if that is best.
Sounds like we're gonna hold off on it. I
Fair
would need
enough.
somebody to recant their motions.
Rescind my motion. Rescind.
All right, motion's been rescinded, and we will bring this up at another moment in time. All right, moving on to item D, now I need motion approval of professional service agreement with Snyder Associates for 16th Street Utility Replacement Project.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Wes.
So this has been talked about for a long time. Finally, sounds like we're ready to proceed with this. Everybody knows where this is.
Oh, yeah.
Understands the challenges of working in backyards. There's fences, garden sheds, things like that. So we're assuming at this point that there are no easements, and obviously those would need to be acquired from all affected properties before construction can begin. So that is part of it. Incidentally, Snyder Associates does have right-of-way agents that can help acquire those. In the past, that's been city staff that has helped with that, with negotiations, paperwork, things like that. So that takes a lot of their time. Just just so you know, one of the services is yes, you just don't do it. So, design, everything is in here. Part of that is looking at, is this best to be open trenched, like a standard installation, or horizontally drilled trenchless, so as to not disturb those. We provide you with the cost estimates, kind of the pros and cons of both options, and provide you a recommendation on what we think you should do, but it's obviously up to you, whatever you would want. So, but I am not going to try to guess what the recommendation would be going into it at this point.
They already dug one big hole in my backyard and didn't find anything, so.
This does include multiple public meetings and contact with the property owner, so they understand what's going on. We do one early, and then we would do one before we finalize design to make sure that everybody's comfortable with what we're doing. Their home is their castle. We appreciate those things. This is kind of one of the more sensitive projects. It's different when you're out in the middle of the street. So we're trying to really cover bases with this one, which is, we understand the dollar amount on this one's probably higher than you would have expected, but that's why we're trying to cover everything we possibly could. And if there are any of those services that you, no, we don't need that, told you okay, we can amend our contract. So.
Lady that lives mid-block is gonna be hard to get along with.
I was warned.
Questions?
Do you have a time frame, like year?
Thank you. That actually just popped into my head. I mean, we can move basically as fast as as acquiring easements, but honestly, 2 years is not out of line on this. When you're acquiring especially 16 easements and trying to get everybody to agree to what's going on back there, this could get dragged out for a while.
And is this estimate not to exceed?
The lump sum is not to exceed anything that's more time and materials is an estimate. If we hit that estimate, we're not done. We're getting close to that estimate and not done yet. We'll come back to you and let you know, and provide justification as to why. But some of those things, especially when it comes to the easements, you don't know until you get into it. But anything lump sum is exactly that's lump sum. That's what you're paying.
Any more questions? Roll call.
Ellick,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Stark Hood. Yes. Raker,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Hessinius.
All right, moving on to item F, now the discussion of the 15th and 16th Street water service proposal.
Motion?
This is just a
No,
discussion.
my bad.
You're good. So this is, you might go stand up, but this is what you want to know, wasn't it?
No, it's great.
Yeah, Craig had a leak, but he was supposed to get
Unless
a hold of
you
him.
wanna pay them to. What? Unless you wanna pay him to engineer water line, or water services.
I thought you talked to him.
Not about that.
Oh, well, never mind, maybe.
Well, now you have my interest.
All right, Craig, what do you got?
Well, there's a 2-inch water line that comes off of 15th Street and goes up right next to the first house. I can't remember what, on I Avenue there. And then goes behind the houses and feeds 3 more residents. So there's 5 total, I believe, on that line. 5. And, well, we had a break, and we thought it was on that first house there, closest to the 15th Street. We thought it was their service line. Well, when they dug down, it was actually that 2-inch main that was broke. So, there's really no good way to flush that line. If that line were to break in the backyards, there's really no good way to get equipment back in there to fix it. Even though it's a 2-inch line, I can't imagine the quality of water at time or even pressure would be all that great. So I guess it's just a proposal to put everybody off on their own line and eliminate that line altogether. So then I believe I have all the prices. There wouldn't be any street opening permits because it'd be a city project, so. As far as I'm concerned, Brian, I guess. So. And a couple of those houses, we have two different thoughts of which way to, run the water line in. It's like two different lines going to the same house. So we'd have options, I guess.
It's not large enough for fire. I know that. Councilmember Seas, your thoughts about 2-inch main?
Well, something needs to be done to give them the services that they pay for. And I'm not in favor of leaving the 2-inch main in there myself. I think it would behoove us to do this.
As far as I know, that's maybe the only time it's broke, but there could be other ones that have been.
Is that galvanized or?
Yeah, it's galvanized.
Yeah, it's gonna break again. And the water quality is probably shit, so.
Are you gonna run it to 16?
Two of them we would, and then the other three we could either go off of 15th, two of them off of 15th Street, and then maybe the third one, or we can run two of them off of I. All depends on which way is shorter and easier to. Depends on where they need to run the water lines into the house. So.
This is just strictly water. This doesn't pertain to sewer.
That's another matter. So.
Because there's a lot of Orangeburg up there, and I know Mr. Streeter had to pay for that a few years ago. So.
Yes. So yeah. So everybody else shares a sewer line, but. We did discuss running a few sewer mains, but that would definitely have to be through Nate, so.
Is it something, if we're digging it up, we need to address that while we're at it? I hate to think we're gonna have to go back and dig into a sewer main right after we just put a water main in.
I believe they were given an option to tie in.
We're not putting a water main in, we're just putting
Yeah, trying to do services.
services in off the existing water mains.
I guess
The sewer part, you'd have to have it engineered.
after Craig, or after Dakota just brought that up about Craig's, I think we need to talk to the homeowners and let them know that they're flirting with disaster and maybe have them pay for part of it,
Which part of it?
The sewer part?
the water.
So from what I gathered, Craig had to run a new water line in the 80s to 16th Street because his broke at the main.
Yeah.
And his is
When
all
he sold
his is all
he had to
copper.
Well,
run
when he sold his
sewer.
house, he had.
He had to do the sewer when he sold his house, but he did the water main in the 80s when he moved in,
Right.
and it was a copper line that he had installed.
Right.
I don't know if that feeds another house or what.
Copper's cheap.
Well, I mean, I guess in a way, I don't know.
I mean, if you don't.
Actually, if we even paid half of of their hookups, it's gonna be cheaper than us spending $37,000.
But how do you convince somebody to spend that kind of money when there's nothing wrong with
Well,
the water line?
you can't convince them unless you don't talk to them. And the people that don't want to, leave them on the 2-inch, and then they'll have to do it later anyway.
What? What if it breaks in the back of the house where we can't get to?
Then they're gonna have to hook on to it.
What if the house that has hooked onto the new main, it broke in their backyard and we're gonna have to, tear down their garage or?
Quit bringing that shit
Oh,
up.
Sorry. I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm just trying to think of all.
You are.
Is this a special assessment kind of thing?
Well, it could
We've
be.
done that before.
It's almost an all or
Yes,
none
we
thing,
have.
really.
And there's,
I do agree with you.
I know,
I do
I
agree
know.
with you on that. I'm
There
just,
would be.
and you open this thing up, and and the city screws up sewer lines.
Well, we know where the sewer lines are, for the most part. And sewers are easy to repair, they're not like a water main, I mean, we can have them televised if we.
Are those individual sewers or are they all tied together?
There's several of them tied together.
Oh, of course they are. But they have access to.
We had it all televised when they redid Craig Streeters. So that was all on a previous council meeting. There's a map somewhere that my fine artistic skills drew up.
Well, we're just discussing, we're not doing anything.
I know.
This discussion, I think I have an idea.
So these water mains that are now there put in after,
They're put in when everything was built up there, just like behind Bud's house. That was put in by a contractor who built all those houses. And there was no codes or anything, code enforcement.
even though they had
in this town
access
at that
to
time.
good quality water lines, they chose to run a 2-inch.
It was the easiest for that person to run that through there.
Yeah.
They just tied on to the main once, and
Yeah.
then as they built houses, they just kept tying off of it.
Same thing on B Avenue and 13th Street.
Yes.
Same thing on East 3rd Street and
Yeah.
11th Avenue.
Used to do the same thing on First Avenue.
There's so many places that
Yeah, I know.
share lines.
I know.
I know it's not necessarily the city's responsibility, but at one point, the city allowed them to do it, so.
Right.
Possibly an idea.
Okay.
Well, we can't decide anything tonight anyway, so
That's true.
let's
So
do,
let's-
should we do a,
We're just discussing anyhow.
yeah, but do a work session on this?
I would say,
Okay.
at some point, we might need you there, Nate, in case we have to do something else, or.
Okay, keep that. But that, is that okay?
Have Nate there?
We do it on the floor.
That's a valid question.
Just kidding, Nate. All right, we're gonna move this on to work session under Public Works, and you guys set that up.
Public Works, we're done.
You don't have to set that right now. Let's see. All right, item G, now I need a motion approval of the next market oracle for sales and service.
Second.
Motion by Wes, second by Zach. Anybody got any questions on that?
Do we not have to get competing bids on this stuff?
We did.
Same company. different one?
We did mowers.
I don't know the correct, I already talked to Scott about it. I know that you have the option to pick somebody local and quotes come in, but
And they change stuff, it seems like, but if it's under a certain amount, and I can't remember what that amount is.
The amount for.
So
you got competitive.
he got prices on 3 mowers, but they're all from Coops.
Correct.
They're not from 3 different companies.
Correct. The competitive quote amount is a lot higher than this. It would be.
20 or 25,000.
Oh, it's more
I think
than
it's more than
that. It's a lot more than that. Let's
I don't know why, I think like 100
we had
days.
to, we had to do it on a pickup though,
Yeah, they did.
and that was 50.
Did you reach out to anybody else other than Coop?
No, he used I think it's called like Oasis or whatever. It's kind of like Sourcewell, just cheaper, I guess, but does the same thing. So he used the government bidding, so I figured.
Oh, that's right. You did government Sourcewell? Okay. So in other words, what the state of Iowa did, they went out and got competitive quotes annually for all this equipment, and then when they do, they have that price. And Coops, in other words, got the same price as the state of Iowa when they do it on an annual basis. So, in other words, the quotes were done by the state.
They did the competitive.
They did
So
competitive
we don't,
process.
as long as we don't have to go and get another one.
No, because the state of Iowa already did that. That's what Sourcewell does. They go out, get that competitive quote, get that competitive price, and Coops just matches that state of Iowa. So, state of Iowa did the work, did the competitive quotes and bids on that behalf.
Good to know.
So if Creminga would have bid, they would have come up with these same numbers.
Exactly.
If they
They had the same
I'm
quote.
not saying equipment.
Good question. Are they presented that information before they give us the quote?
Yeah. It's Sourcewell.
Well,
Feels like they should give us their quote first. It might be lower yet.
It's just what it is from the state.
I understand.
I get what he's saying, they use the state number, but it could have been lower, we just would have asked them. Actually, I think you ought to go ask them again, just so we have a competitive quote.
Okay.
You just never know,
Sure.
nothing hurt. Mowing season's almost over,
I rescind my second.
thank you.
Who are you then, motion? I said my motion.
Thanks, we'll jump on Dominga and find out, or somebody else get a couple quotes.
Do they know this number?
Yeah. They will know this number because it's on the state line.
If they use that program.
Well,
I mean, they can freehand a quote, can't
Well,
they?
hold up, we can pick what mower we want, correct? I mean, if they don't come in, if they don't own that brand, and we still elect them, we wanna go with that brand, we can choose that, correct?
Yeah.
So if they don't price a similar mower or something equivalent, yeah.
Other mower's still running though. Right, as of right now.
For now.
Yeah.
Get this on the next.
The sooner the better. Not to, but yeah. Our part-timer,
Would appreciate
well, yeah, we had some stuff go on, so we probably need to move on a little quicker than later.
it. I would imagine. We would see this and anything from Creminga's at the next council meeting.
Sure.
Well, we
Thanks, Scott.
You bet.
All right, moving on to item I, item approval of annual disbursement to, I'm sorry, approval of carry-all, the 100 golf cart boat from Coops, same deal, I'm gonna guess, we did get another quote.
Yep.
Have another place that sells golf carts? What's that? We have another place that sells golf carts, doesn't have to be here. We just know we prefer to go local, and try to keep within 5%, I think was our,
Yes, for your ordinance. Even, I believe that golf cart quote, was that also Sourcewell?
He actually came under the Sourcewell price on that one. And added a,
no?
He came in under the price.
and then he actually added a top, I think, for nothing.
So wait for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve that for the carry-all golf cart.
I'll second. All right. Roll call, please.
Senius.
Yeah.
Elwick.
Yes.
Raker.
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
Harmiter.
Yes.
Starkman Hood. Yes.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
You bet. Thanks, Scott.
All right, moving on to item I, now motion approval of annual disbursement to Evergreen Cemetery for FY 27.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Zach. Have we got any questions on that?
Said under Iowa code, you don't do that because it's the newest,
I don't want to own it, so
the newest department of the city.
roll call, please.
Starkman Hood. Yes. Sellers.
Yes.
Raker.
Yes.
Harmiter.
Yes.
Senius.
Yep.
Elwick.
Yes.
All right. Item J, not need motion approval of special event application for the Special Olympics ride, August 15th, 2026.
Second.
Motion by Wes, second by Zach. Any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Alright, item K, not need motion approval of special event application for the Kiwanis Glow Trail 5K on October 10th, 2026.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Wes. Anybody got questions on that one? Not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to reports. Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council, tomorrow morning, we're having a meeting, Mr. Mayor, about the water plant.
Yep. I did accept the meeting, and she was supposed to send me another one to my other account.
Okay.
Please, I couldn't get it, but I'll try and log on.
All right, well, I know Craig will be there as well. Speaking of Craig, there was an accident at the wastewater treatment plant sewer receiving station, correct, Craig?
A year ago or so,
A
2
year
years ago.
ago or so, somebody was hooked up and they drove off, still hooked up.
Oh, that accident.
Yeah, still hooked up while they were dumping.
Never mind. Yes, let's hear
So
about
did you get that resolved? You never did call me with the insurance company.
I found the insurance company, and it's
Yeah.
getting resolved.
Yeah, my question on that. So anyhow, somebody pulled away, the hose was still hooked up for a brand new receiver station.
No.
Pulled it, bent it over, stretched some of the electronics or something on it.
Yeah, cool.
And of course now Woodruff won't warranty it as part of the project unless they fix it as part of the project.
Now Woodruff and the
They're
insurance,
well within their right not to do that.
yeah, and Woodruff and the insurance company are working together right now.
Okay,
Get that.
because when Natalie called and told me, and I said, no, they gotta maintain the warranty for 2 years. So,
Yeah. And I've been invited to speak at Kiwanis on August 25th, so I'll be there. Oh, and I did hear back from our bond council about the TIF for Main Street Iowa program and using urban renewal. The answer is yes, it can be done. What we would have to do, if everybody remembers about the Main Street program and using urban renewal funds for that instead of going through our regular budget, but using the urban renewal, we would have to amend our urban renewal plan and have the normal consultation, but yes, it can be done. According to our bond council.
Do you have a cost estimate on what it's gonna take to do that, urban?
I don't know about urban renewal, how much, that's just us doing ordinances, right?
Well, it's just really doing a resolution, it's a public hearing and a consultation. It's just the paperwork from Dorsey to do that. And the posting,
So from Dorsey, about 10,000.
or less.
That's all it's concerned about.
No, I don't know.
But you also added other urban renewal projects as well at the same time. This would not be the only urban renewal project that council would look at to do. So if there's anything you'd like to do.
You have to identify that before you get or redo your urban renewal grant or whatever.
Yes, you would identify that. And the reason being is it would actually kick in for next year rather than this year, because this year is the last year, because you have already debt that's occurred, which is going to be paid off this year. The down payment assistance program for the housing is paid off. So you need a new program for it to go to anyway. So this and, there may be some other kind of improvements in the community you may want to think about doing to add in for that urban renewal. Also trying to gather up some funding, not funding, but as cost estimates all together for bonding. For your 4th Street bond, your bridge, street department equipment, and pumper truck for the fire department. That's what I have.
Any questions for Mr. Ward? Brian?
Been pretty busy. I just wanted to say, I guess, that if you do get a letter from me, contact me. I always put my phone number in there, my cell phone. sometimes things can be resolved just from talking. I mean, I've been working with a few different families and people. Like one family is really young and they're pregnant and they're able to get things done each weekend, so I've extended time for them. I've worked with multiple landlords, or they got 2 or 3 properties that I'm working with them, so I give them different times on things. So if you get a letter, you don't necessarily have to have it done at that date. As long as I'm seeing steady progress, I'm more than willing to work with people. A lot of my contacts from earlier in the year are starting to help circle back around. I've been able to just text a few people, a couple landlords, business owners, and say, hey, can we get this cleaned up, you know, blah, blah, blah. So that's been being fruitful, I guess. And I got about 3 houses, I think, that are close to being finished up with the new homes. The one new Newton home on 8th Street is scheduled to be next week now because of the rain and the mud that got delayed after everything that came with that. And there's a new restaurant on K Avenue. Haven't been out there yet, but new restaurant to check out. And then I've just started talks with the railroad to get some different spots cleaned up throughout the city. Josh is his name for contacting. He seems like he's going to be very responsive and helping get things done. So.
What is the ordinance on that? What is the whatever? How many feet away from the tracks are they responsible for?
I just went with whatever is on satellite of where their property line is. But I got an email and a phone call of a resident who was concerned about things right in their immediate backyard. And it reminded me of a few other spots that I saw early in the spring that wanted to work on, but there's so many other spots. But I mean, there's 3, 4, or 5 different spots where there's random railroad ties on the side. There's old metal things. That's my main concern, is to help get those cleaned up. And then Ted had mentioned, I'm sure everybody agrees, West 3rd Street, crossing the tracks, see if they can do something to fix that, where it's getting real rough to drive over. So.
You have a contact person.
Yeah, Chris gave me a contact for CN Railroads, Canadian National Railroad or something. And he's sending out, if he hasn't already, he's sending somebody out to drive the tracks and to look at things.
Like president, right?
I don't know, he's got an address of Washington DC, so. But
Hopefully that pays off.
Nice.
Hard to believe.
Anything else, Brian? Lovely. Anything?
Is it my turn?
Yep.
I was just tell you that we just completed our 6th annual Pitching for Pins, where the police department gets together with the schools to raise money for the wrestling department. And this year we raised just over $16,000. Over the 6 years, there's been over $80,000 raised, so they're pretty happy with the turnout that we've had.
I heard you won for once.
Maybe once, nothing.
Not this
I'm
year.
not
We got
this
booked
year.
this year.
That's what it said in the
no.
paper.
I was just gonna ask you, how'd you fare on that, Blake?
No, it was like 28 to 12.
No, it was the tug of war.
The tug of war, we finally pulled one off.
Okay.
Well, my gosh, I should think.
They're tough. They're tough.
You guys anchored it down.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it is.
Big thanks to Scotty too. He took one for the team.
Oh, he wrote White Lightning?
Oh yeah. That's great.
We could replay it quick if you let it.
Oh, absolutely. My mom sent it to me every day. Just like, remember when you did that? No. My family, it was nice to see the community not put in a lot of money for me, but 98% of it, I'm pretty sure, was my own family. So, whatever that says.
You might want to up that number. What do you got, Greg?
Oh, I've just been doing some minor repairs out to the sewer plant. We got a few leaks we're trying to figure out where they're coming from. The Woodruff's been out there, had a few washouts, and they showed right up, and tilled it up, and put a netting down. Really haven't balked on any small thing that we've seen, so.
How are we coming on the controls this year?
They haven't showed up, so.
Yeah, that's what I need to know, if they're not showing up.
Yeah, they were
Because I had to
supposed to
call them later, they were supposed to be done June first.
Yeah, no.
And I
no.
said, as long as they're showing up and working on it, we're okay.
No, I
They're not
think,
gonna come.
I think Sean said they were supposed to come this week, first part of the week, and they never showed up, so. But if you call them, like we had a problem the other day, and all of a sudden my computer started moving itself, and it freaked me out for a second. Oh, yeah, he's probably working on it. So, yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of things. We're not fully running it in auto, so especially the gate that slides down for when we get high flows, so. So we're getting a few alarms that we probably shouldn't have to, but waiting on the program to show up, so. Replaced a bunch of water meters. I think our oldest water meter now, we're up to like 1994, so we're slowly working away at the old one. Raised a few dead end manholes, so we got a few more we're gonna try to get raised up, so. Been replacing parts on the electrical there at the water plant too, so. Patiently waiting for construction to start. Besides the 4 cones sitting in the ground. Hopefully we'll find out something tomorrow. So. Big meeting at 9 o'clock.
I looked it up this morning, it's been 9 months since they put that thing out to bid the first time. Well, they said it was ready.
When did they say it was ready?
Well, we're down to bid November 12th
Right.
of last year.
Yeah.
And then I made them pull it back. And they bid it again December 12th.
Without a permit.
Without a permit. And it's gonna end up costing somebody a lot of money.
Shouldn't be the city, right?
Shouldn't be.
As long as we're on the same page. About all I got.
Oh, yeah.
We're just winding down with summer stuff. The pool closes this Sunday. That's the last day. Peter and Alan did a fantastic job with our first ever cardboard boat regatta. That was a big hit for the first year doing it. We had 21 different boats, so we ended up giving away a free pool party and then a free skate party. So the youngest participant through all the levels ended up winning the singles division. So we're gonna have a skate party at some point, but then just all of our fall programming opened up yesterday for registration. So.
That's why.
We did a cardboard boat thing up there a long time ago when my kids were young.
Don't know what Alan told me.
Because Alex and Addie won it, they ended up having all the boats sank and whoever slammed it beside won.
We'll put an asterisk by the year
Used
from
to be
now
in
on.
Cedar Rapids, I remember back in the day.
Well, we had a cardboard boat regatta.
Got like Baxton out there, you should use
Okay, we have a trail to get to.
Finished up seal coating, did just shy of 2 miles, I think. Switching over to ditch end and some of the maintenance stuff that gets called in, with all the rain and stuff. Ditches are going up, so we're gonna start getting on that. And then I just finished another urban forestry grant today, so we'll see if they'll give us some more money. Have you used your other one up? No, I've just got approved. Set. That it?
Melissa?
Carpet is coming out tomorrow, install next Monday and Tuesday. Excited about that. The other exciting thing going on, Angie Tharp has been hired as our new payroll clerk. She spent a few hours with us on Tuesday, and will be full-time starting tomorrow. So
this place looks that way.
Yes. That's all.
All right. Couple things before everybody leaves tonight. Melissa requested we have a little bonding activity right after the meeting. Expect everybody to participate. We're gonna bond by moving some dust, I think, out here.
So that would be one.
Your excuse, Ron, I want you to throw your back out, but
What's that?
I told Ronnie's excuse, I don't want to throw his back out.
Or his foot, that's an issue.
All right, also, for everybody out there who's listening and anybody here, our emails got hacked. They're still not fixed. I got more calls today from getting random stuff from the mayor account, so. Anybody gets anything from City Hall emails,
Do not
don't open them up, so.
What happens if you do?
I don't know, somebody tried to open one up and they said I couldn't get it open, so.
Or your computer.
Ransomware.
I don't have
How about I did?
I've been work on it.
Same.
Yeah, I got one from,
Yeah.
The IVIT, or the
not everybody got hacked, but some of them did.
the VITIA.gov emails. You get something from that, go open it. There's like 6 emails that were impacted.
I got your text message right after I opened your email with the packet.
I didn't send
It says something to the effect
I didn't
about
get an email with the packet.
the mayor business sent you a secure message and please open.
Dan, able to call.
You can open on your phone.
Get something secure.
Well, the one who called me up goes, I couldn't get it to open. I'm like, really? You should maybe texted me first. So,
Oh, it was the draft.
Yes, that's fine. That was legit.
Yeah, all right.
You're good.
so anyhow, please, that's not good or welfare, but well, maybe welfare. You don't want to get your computers ruined.
Correct.
So, all right. Anything else?
School's gonna start soon, right, Wes?
Yeah.
Sure is.
Before we have our next council meeting, even, so. Week from Monday, school starts.
Bowling starts. Yeah, bowling does start. Start warm up a little bit.
Oh, it's good sport.
All right, I need a motion for adjournment
Motion.
before we go bond.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second. Rachel, bless you. I doubt that somebody got to tell her. Oh, did I?
Yeah, Colton, no big deal.
Oh, is that how that?
Oh, no, I should
It's all
say
good.
that. Sorry, my bad, Dakota, so. It's been a long. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?